Dear students, in previous video we discussed about types of salts and families of salts. Now in this video we'll discuss about the common salt, sodium chloride. About this salt we'll learn more about sodium chloride. First, we discuss the different types of salts. In all these salts are electrically neutral. What is that? Electrically neutral means, for example, if you take sodium chloride, it contains Na plus and a Cl minus. So the combination of a positive ion and the negative ions, then plus, when you add plus comma minus, then you will get zero or neutral. So due to the combination of these ions, all the salts are electrically neutral, means that salts they don't have any charge. Next, and here the salts are formed due to the transfer of ions, means when Na plus ion is combined with the Cl minus ions, due to that it forms sodium chloride. Means these ions here only I took only sodium chloride. If you take any salt, all the salts are the combination of a cation and anion. These ions are combined and formed finally electrically neutral substances. We'll call it as salts. So due to the transfer of ions, when compounds form, the compounds are known as ionic compounds. We'll call it as ionic compounds. So here all these salts, whatever we discussed in the previous video, that all are ionic compounds. Once again, salts are ionic compounds and they're electrically neutral. Now, in all these salts, the most famous common salt is sodium chloride. What is that? Sodium chloride. Why it is very famous and it is more popular and it is very important in our daily life? Because for the preparation of food, without salt, can you prepare food? No, you cannot imagine. Without mirchi powder and masalas, you can prepare food. But without salt, it does not give taste, good taste to the food item. So, this common salt is very famous in our daily life. So how does we get this common salts? Mostly we get two ways. One is from the seawater and the other one is the deposits of rocks are available. Like bygone ages of the seas are dried up, and at that place we can find out these rocks of salts, and in that way we will call this type of salt is known as rock salt. And this rock salt is not in white color, and it is in brown color. We can get it is in brown color. Why? Because in that rock salt, impurities are dissolved in that. Some impurities are dissolved in that rock salt. Due to that, the rock salt appears in brownish color. Coming to the salt which we get from the salt water. Here from the salt, actually they take some salt water, and in some places they will collect it, and they will dry up that sea water by naturally by using the sunlight and air. And after some days the water evaporates from the seawater and the deposits of salts are formed. So that salt they cleaned up, and we can use for the food. So we get salt from the two ways. From one is from the seawater and from the rock salt. If you take seawater, it contains many variety of salts. But out of all the salts, this sodium chloride is the predominant salt, and it gives enhance the taste of food. Now, this is salt. It is not used for the food. This is salt is used as a raw material for many chemicals. In the preparation of the chemicals, the raw material is used as sodium chloride. Just we'll discuss one example. Here, where we'll use this raw material sodium chloride as a raw material in the preparation of sodium hydroxide, in the preparation of the sodium hydroxide, baking soda, washing soda, bleaching powder, and many more. Not only this, these are the few examples. So we'll discuss more about this where how to use this sodium chloride as a raw material. Now, first you take the sodium chloride, aqueous solution of sodium chloride, means take sodium chloride and add water, and that resultant solution is known as aqueous solution. So take aqueous solution of sodium chloride, and when electricity is passed through that solution, when current is passed through that solution, then the solution is means after that process it gives the products of sodium hydroxide and chlorine gas, and along with the chlorine gas it gives it hydrogen gas also. Once again I am repeating, when aqueous solution of sodium chloride, when electricity is passed through that solution, it gives the end products are sodium hydroxide, hydrogen gas, and chlorine gas. And the aqueous solution of sodium chloride is known as brine solution. What is that? Brine solution. What is the spelling? B-R-I-N-E. Brine solution. And due to this liberation of chlorine gas and sodium hydroxide, actually sodium hydroxide it has a basic nature, and the chlorine what is that, liberation of this chlorine gas, due to this process is known as chloroalkali process. What we'll call chloroalkali process. What is chloroalkali process? When electricity is passed through the brine solution, we get the end products are chlorine gas and sodium hydroxide solution, along with the hydrogen gas also liberated. Due to the liberation of the chlorine and the sodium hydroxide solution, this process is known as chloroalkali process. Very, very important question, this one. Okay. When electricity is passed, we have, so to passes of that current, we require anode and cathode. So these chlorine gas and sodium hydroxide are deposited. Here you see this. So here at cathode, hydrogen gas is deposited, and at anode, chlorine gas is deposited, and at the same time cathode, a sodium hydroxide solution is formed. And these hydrogen gas, chlorine gas, and sodium hydroxide solution is used each one separately in our daily life for many purposes. For example, if you take the hydrogen gas, this hydrogen gas is used as a fuel, and ammonia for fertilizers. In the preparation of the fertilizers, ammonia is used. In the preparation of ammonia, this hydrogen gas is used. Next, coming to the chlorine gas, margarine also. Next, coming to the chlorine gas. So chlorine gas is very, very famous gas, and in the water treatments, in the purification of water, so this chlorine gas is sent. And the swimming pools, in the swimming pools, to clean that pool water, they're mixing the chlorine powder. And the PVC and disinfectants and pesticides. In all this chlorine gas is used. Now coming to the sodium hydroxide, and the sodium hydroxide is used, this solution is used as degreasing metals. Degreasing metals, soaps and detergents. In the preparation of the soaps and the detergents, the sodium hydroxide is used. And in the paper making and the artificial fibers, in the preparation of the artificial fibers, the sodium hydroxide solution is used. So like this, by using the chloroalkali process, whatever the products we are getting, each one is used separately for other purposes. Now in this, here hydrogen gas is liberated and chlorine gas is liberated. When these two gases are combined, we get hydrochloric acid. When gases combines, we get that acid in the form of gas only, hydrochloric acid in the form of gas. But when that gas is cooled, then we'll get hydrochloric solution, liquid form. So what is the use of this hydrochloric acid? When these two gases are combined, we get hydrochloric acid, and this gas is used in the cleaning steel, in cleaning of steel, and in the preparation of ammonium chloride, and in the medicines and in cosmetics, this hydrochloric gas is used. So these are about sodium chloride.